So if you've been around on my channel for a while, you know that for a while I've been expressing this longing desire for a Master Xehanort game within the Kingdom Hearts series. In fact, I wanted this game to come out before Kingdom Hearts 3, however, of course, we didn't wind up getting this game, and then I started to hope that it would come in the future. Well, reading into the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania, we get the interesting prospect that even Tetsuya Nomura, I guess with the character that he's written and his enthrallment with the character, or how enthralled he is by the character himself, he also wanted to tell the story of Master Xehanort. And that's an interesting thing because one of the rules of writing is one of the rules, and I'm saying that with air quotes, is that whenever you build up a character to have like this mystery and intrigue about them, you never actually tell their story. You always leave it up to interpretation of how this character became the person that they are, so that way everyone can have their own fantasies without it being officially, of course, confirmed whether or not their theories or their, passion for that character, whether or not that passion is valid. You don't want to tell that story because you may not be able to tell that story in the effective capacity to the fantasy that people had with said character. But Nomura truly did want to do something for Master Xehanort in the likeness of giving him his very own game. So let's go ahead and read off what he had to say. There's 2 questions and 2 answers from Nomura and the interviewer, and that's going to lead us into him revealing that he actually did want to do the story of Master Xehanort. So let's get down into it. It says, in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Master Xehanort's goal behind opening Kingdom Hearts was to create a new world. But in this game, he says it is to reset the world. Why the difference? Nomura says, what was revealed in this game was another piece of the truth. His goal was, this world is no longer any good, and we have to recreate it from scratch. The question then becomes, we are interested in why Xehanort would come to such a conclusion. And Nomura would answer, at first, I did want to use a game to dig down into how Xehanort went from that simple boy playing the chess game to an admirer of the darkness. But if I do that, then the Dark Seeker Chronicle wouldn't have ended with Kingdom Hearts 3 after all. Some ideas had solidified to a degree, but it's shelved for now. So this means that obviously Tetsuya Nomura potentially wrote out the whole story of Master Xehanort, wanted to make that into a game, but then I'm guessing instead, this could have been what possibly would have been the PS3 Kingdom Hearts game. Because if you don't know, one of the technology directors at Square Enix announced back in 2010, so this is before, 3 years before we got the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 3. So 3 years before, that announcement at E3 2013, one of the directors, he's not like a director of like Kingdom Hearts or nothing, but one of the directors of the technology department within Square Enix. So I'm guessing the people that like creates like the engines and stuff like that for their games. One of those directors, he announced that there was a Kingdom Hearts game that was being developed for the consoles, meaning the PS3. And when he announced this, of course, nobody seemed to had knew that there was a game being created, and of course, as we know, no game ever wound up coming out for the PS3 nor the Xbox 360. And with that being said, of course, we know that Nomura said that Kingdom Hearts 3 was created, or it only started development right when the PS4 and Xbox One were already the latest installments into the consoles for PlayStation and Xbox respectively. So with that being said, this could have been what that game would have been, but then Nomura also says that Kingdom Hearts 3 wouldn't have been the last game in the saga, so it's potentially possible that this would have came after as well. It's kind of conflicting as to at what point he actually was going to do this, but let's get off of that to talk about potentially what the story would have been, or at least what I would have wanted the story to have been from my perspective, and then you guys can tell me your perspective as well. So I've always been intrigued with Master Xehanort because of the fact that he knows so much about the actual world around him, and in fact a lot of Kingdom Hearts' world building comes from his many different characterizations and his many different forms, such as Ansem, Xemnas, Young Xehanort, and of course Terranort. even though Xehanort doesn't truly add too much because we are looking from the perspective of the Birth by Sleep characters that were taught by their own master about the world, and plus he only shows up for the very tail end of the game. With Ansem, he was there throughout the whole game. A lot of this journey was about getting to Ansem and defeating Ansem within Kingdom Hearts 1. Within Kingdom Hearts 2, a lot of the story was going through the worlds to defeat Xemnas. Within Kingdom Hearts 3, it's now going through the worlds to defeat Master Xehanort. And with Dream Drop Distance, which should have been said before Kingdom Hearts 3, with Dream Drop Distance, it was more so visiting, like, you know, these different versions of worlds that they've been to before, and of course, obviously, finding out about young Xehanort and the ability of time travel and how time will play into the future of the series. And that's always intrigued me, so I wanted to know exactly where all had young Xehanort been to achieve these abilities, to learn about these abilities, to learn about the true nature and the true depth of the Keyblade. Why is he intrigued with learning the past? Why is he intrigued with wanting to be able to control the future? And when Tetsuya Nomura says that some of these things and some of these ideas have been solidified, I feel like what he means is what we know from Kingdom Hearts Remind already, in which we are potentially learning that his true master was none other than the Master of Masters himself, which is a very interesting idea because when you think about it, Lucio apparently had his eyes on Xehanort for a while. He said that he knew about the Keyblade Wielder of Darkness. So does this mean the Master of Masters and Lucio were actually in coercion into getting Xehanort to try and open Kingdom Hearts' door? And was he trying to open Kingdom Hearts' door truly for the sake of reviving the Master of Masters and his friends? Or did Lucio potentially have another desire? You know, all of those different things could play into, like, you know, this whole story, and finding out how Master Xehanort came to know all that he knew and stuff like that is stuff that I wanted to know. Now, whether or not Nomura or the writers for Kingdom Hearts or any other writer that they could have brought up for this, whether or not they would have been able to tell that story effectively in a way that all of that, you know, thinking about who this character truly is or who this character went from being to who he has become by the time of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, would it have been effective enough of a story that I would have liked it, and all kind of stuff like that. But when it comes to Master Xehanort, I always felt like he deserved his own game, but I feel like if they gave him a game, it should be with him being a kid. And that leads me full circle to why I've always had this impression, or why I've always had this feeling about Master Xehanort, I should say. And that's because within Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, Yen Sid tells either Mickey or Sora and Riku that he's in his time of being a Keyblade wielder, and even now, meaning including Sora and Riku, there has never been a Keyblade wielder. He's a Keyblade wielder unlike any other, basically. And with that being said, what does that mean? Like, you know, has Master Xehanort or has Xehanort defeated some force, some darkness that predated him? Has he defeated them and no other Keyblade wielder that has ever tried to fight them? Have they never been successful, but Master Xehanort was successful in doing so? And that's the thing, man. Like, even with Xehanort and like when Master Xehanort gets a hold of the power of Kingdom Hearts, we know that he goes from being a decrepit old man like how he was in Birth by Sleep, in which he's complaining about his old age and how he can't truly fight. He could hold his own in a fight, don't get me wrong, but how he couldn't truly fight like he wanted to. And then we see Xehanort, in which of course we saw them crazy ass fucking abilities within Birth by Sleep. But then when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3, we see even how much more stronger he was within his own body, to the point that Master Xehanort is kind of like a fucking god compared to the characters that we've already seen thus far. So thank you guys for tuning into this video, and please let me know your thoughts on, of course, this idea that Tetsuya Nomura had to bring a Master Xehanort game into fruition. Oh man, I've wanted that for so long. Ever since I played Birth by Sleep back in 2010, I've wanted to see this man have his own game. But as the years have gone by and more games have released, Dream Drop Distance, 0.2, Kingdom Hearts 3, I just wanted more and more, man. And especially as we learned about where his Keyblade came from. Oh man. But this has been your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming, and everything you do, don't forget to keep it A-class. I hope you guys will share your thoughts with me in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace the heck out.